If this goes on, don't panic. Bringing hope to the world through speculative fiction.
Welcome to the latest episode of our audio column, Spec, Partisan. This week, Rick talks about AI and weird-ass indie books. Before we get started, don't forget you can find Rick's books, Leech Girl Lives, and The Mold Farmer anywhere you buy books. You can also still get a copy of Tentacle Head while supplies last. Just hit him up on Twitter at WeirdStrug. That's WEIRDSTRUG. All right. Here we go.
Artificial intelligence is creating a hell of a mess for writers, and I have to say, I kind of hate it. Media outlets like BuzzFeed and Sports Illustrated are replacing articles written by human writers with content prompted from OpenAI's ChatGPT. Clarkesworld closed its submissions after they got inundated with crappy chatbot-generated stories, and others are following suit. Amazon's self-publishing platform is increasingly riddled with chatbot-written books, and scammy schemes are promising wannabe authors that using AI-assisted tricks to churn out tons of content is a viable path to a paycheck. Now, I'm just about ready to start submitting a novel manuscript I've been working on for over 4 years to agents and presses. And I have to say, this shit is making me nervous. Not because I think ChatGPT or whatever can or will produce writing so good it makes human writers obsolete. It can't. It won't. But because these things don't have to be that good to cause tremendous damage to the writing community by forcing editors to put up barriers that, in the process of filtering out the chatbot spam, also make things much harder for emerging writers. Yeah, OpenAI's ChatGPT and similar AI tools are impressive. In December, I got it to write me a Christmas carol about Luddites smashing machines in about 30 seconds. Like I said, impressive, but it still kind of sucked in that soulless, too polished way that everything these things regurgitate sucks. Now, I'm using the word regurgitate here on purpose. Because we have to remember, the artificial intelligence behind these large language models is neither artificial nor intelligent. They learn how to put language together by scanning the internet, and their output is regurgitated remixes of writing produced by real humans. The words selected through a statistical winnowing process, like a turbocharged autocomplete. We also have to remember a great deal of human labor goes into refining these things. In Kenya, digital sweatshop workers are earning less than $2 an hour as chatbot sanitation workers, manually removing objectionable content from the machine's training data. Some people say it's all worth it, and that incredible stories authored by or co-authored by semi-sentient chatbots are just another few $1 billion of venture capital away. I say no matter how much these chatbots remix the content the stories they regurgitate come from, and no matter how polished the stories they churn out appear to be, their pre-digested pablum will never come close to telling stories as wild and deranged and compelling as what small press speculative fiction authors are writing right now. So for the rest of this column, I'm going to do a bit of a shout-out to my small press comrades and stories no one could ever mistake for something a chatbot crapped out. I'm talking about stories that take weeks, months, or years to write, not minutes or seconds. They're shaped by unique imaginations and traumas and the musicality of human language. They're born from the experience of flesh and blood people who have refined their storytelling craft to reveal parts of their human experience that can be revealed in no other way, and they are doing it for our entertainment. I'm talking about books like Crom Cruach, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, by Valerie Longcrew, a tenebrous press release about anarchists fighting fascists in a post-apocalyptic Ireland, where an ancient curse creates zombies, and the story is told in verse. And Toadstones by Eric Williams, a malarkey books collection in the style of old-school weird pulp-style stories, but with a contemporary sensibility. It's got haunted public transportation, a subterranean abomination who is also a billionaire, and people being chased by plant beings. And The Wingspan of Severed Hands, Joe Koch's twistedly lyrical novella on weird punk books that interweaves a hallucinatory tale of personal trauma with the emergence of a conscious experimental bioweapon. And Erika Satifka's Busted Synapses, a too near for comfort novella from Broken Eye Books, where low-wage workers in West Virginia confront awful truths behind state corporate propaganda through drug-induced video game sessions they experience through dreams. And Jeff John's Good Guy with a Gun, a sagging meniscus novel. It's a haunted horror noir satire, where conspiracies and ghosts and clueless media swirl around a uniquely awkward anti-hero who stops a mass shooting when his intention was to carry out a mass shooting of his own. And Andrew Stone's All Hail the House Gods, a Strange House Books novella following a family through a bizarro yet disturbingly familiar dystopia, where carnivorous, sentient houses rule the world and routinely demand human sacrifice. And Laura Gislaison's Inside Out from Darklit Press, a gloriously goopy series of connected stories that cleverly comment on our pandemic-infected world through a plague of contagious melting monstrosities and characters who are tempted to find togetherness in the slime. And Jason Teal's We Were Called Specimens from Kernpunkt Press, another collection of succinct, thematically entwined tales. Specimens imagines the many manifestations of a god named Marjorie. Magical, undead, occult, televised Marjorie through hypnotic, prismatic prose. And Kyle Winkler's The Nothing That Is. It has an exploding cemetery, biker witches, and an unforgettable cosmic horror monstrosity, all experienced from the perspective of a charmingly beleaguered food service worker. And Never Evangeline North's Rain Bear from Apocalypse Party, a wholesome yet horny fever dream through a world of remixed Jewish folklore and playfully chaotic queer adventures featuring an extremely mysterious barista, a mountain-sized bear, and a vomit bird. And A Room in Dodge City, Volumes 1 and 2, by David Leo Rice, care of Alternating Current Press. These are deeply surreal books, like westerns by way of David Lynch at his weirdest. And Brandon Getz's Lars Breakface, Werewolf in Space from Spaceboy Books, a Universal Monsters / Guardians of the Galaxy mashup. This is totally hilarious pulp fun. And The Orange Eats Creeps by Grace Kralanovich from $2 Radio, a depraved tale of drug-addicted teenage vampire hobos. It reminds me of a cross between Mauderer and Gummo. And Dementia from Russell Coy, a Clash Books novella where bizarre, extra-dimensional beings haunt a struggling dad doing his best to protect his young daughter from their leering, predatory purposes. And Numbskull by No Glycon, a back patio press book that juxtaposes everyday life among broke young people who like to make art and go to basement noise shows with fantastical elements like ritual-induced transformations and magical melty creatures. If the future of speculative fiction is what you want, or something wildly different from what the mainstream is offering, or whatever, steer clear of robot-written whatnot and order up a stack of these books or ask your library to stock them. Because humans sharing stories with other humans matters. Let's have each other's backs. Let's enjoy some rad, weird books that are rad and weird in ways only humans can be rad and weird. Solidarity